Hello guys, welcome to another time out with me on this channel. Today I am very excited because we got a lot to talk about. Vintage lenses coming up. All right, welcome back. Vintage lenses are not the only things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about actually accessories, including vintage lenses for the Blackmagic camera, the Blackmagic Pocket Camera 4K, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. All right, which we will just summarize as the Pocket 4K. I have been doing a little bit of research, a little bit of collection, and you know, when you own a cinema camera, you got to figure out what you want to achieve and what you want to have done. Oh, by the way, if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. This is about the perfect time. So hit the notification button so you get notified when we drop another video. Our channel is young and yeah, it's all about filmmaking. It's all about storytelling. I'm trying to raise a community of young filmmakers so we can practice together on YouTube. I have a dream, even though I have a dream for the big screen, you gotta go through the process of, you know, cultivating your skill. And that's what we are doing. So in that light, I, started thinking about what actually will be best for me, moving forward now that I own this Blackmagic camera. Of course, the full review is still coming. That's a lot. There's a lot to say about this camera. Of course, I've done a video. The link will be here. If you haven't seen it, you can check it out, or the link will be in the description. But the bottom line is I did a rough test just quick, knowing that it would take a while before I'll do the actual full test. I did a rough HD test and I showed the video, and you check it out. Now, coming back to today's itinerary, or what we got for today, we'll talk about some accessories. And first of all, you see the camera right now. The first thing you see is the rig, small rig cage, which I love a lot, even though I kind of prefer the grip from the camera. And one of the things, I will probably show you the unboxing of this camera, and I did make mention of something there. And then let's take this guy away. And now we see, ooh. Who said this camera was light? Seriously? Who said this camera was light? I mean, it's not heavy, but it's not light. Like, it's just funny. It feels like it's metal, but it's plastic. This is not bad. People have said so much trash about it. It's like, I'm preparing for the worst, and then I'm not getting the worst. Actually feels good. It feels like a weapon though, like it's hard, it's rigid, and it feels heavier than people expressed. All right, so that's me, but I think what they mean is that for a cinema camera, this is really light. I'd like to say thank you to Blackmagic. And if you don't know, this camera has the specs to be shown on Netflix. It's not been approved. I mean, the camera is only new. I'm sure they'll probably look into it because this camera has what it takes. Every configuration, every requirement is embodied in this camera. So they just might approve it. So let's go into accessories right now and not talk too much about like we're actually reviewing the camera. Now, the small HD, the small rig cage is fantastic, even though I probably should have gone for the half rig. But then again, you know, I was going to wave and say half rig, but I want to be sure that my camera is protected. I feel like everything wrapping this up will all sort of give it some protection, you know. So half cage will probably be half protection. That's my thought. I just felt like, okay, you know what? It's not so bad. I can still grip it. Luckily, I think I have a slightly bigger hands, you know, than others. Initially, the grip was like, I think I'm gonna rock with this, but you know, you will definitely need this cage for some other stuff. So if you got the half cage, that's fine too. I also got the small rig Samsung external hard disk holder right here. It's plugged to the computer. I have the Samsung. I'll show you a clip of it later on. I'm editing a work and it's connected to the computer, and that's the beauty of this thing. You know, as soon as I finish from the camera, load it up to the computer and upload on my software, either Final Cut Pro or DaVinci, which I'm still getting acquainted to on the other computer. The 1 terabyte of Samsung external hard disk, that's what I use, and it's been great. It's been working. I had no problems. I have no problems. Nothing like switching off. Actually, the camera has shut down twice now due to battery, yes, and I did not lose any footage. I'll show you some. For the monitor, hold on, I'm holding you on the vintage. You know, I know you want to hear about the vintage, but we are getting there. I use the FOTOWELT monitor, 7-inch, about 2,000 nits of brightness. It is off the hook. It is it is exceptional. You don't need to have a hood over this stuff. In fact, I don't think I looked for one thinking that we might still need it, but I could not find one for this because you don't need it. It's ridiculously bright. Bright. What I'm saying when I say bright, it is bright. Right there on my test footage, right there in that hot sunlight, this thing was shining against the sunlight like you don't mean nothing to me, you know. So it was very good, but this thing is huge. I wish they had that quality, that brightness on the smaller model. I would have gone for it, but overall, I'm not complaining. I'm happy with it. You'll see that I had a small rig arm attached to this camera, but it was great. But if you have to move around and stuff like that, it begins to wobble. You know, when you leave it in one place, it is okay. But if you're maybe like you're running, you know, taking the footage and you're running, and this thing might it won't fall off, but it might just change the position and get you kind of disorganized for a minute. What I've been using so far, even though I'm still going to get another solution, but so far, this tiny, if you're on a budget, this tiny little device, you might have it hanging around. I think it came with either a light or some gadgets. It's like for the shoe mount, it can go in here and, you know, and I mount this on it. It's been working very fine, perfectly. I have no problem with this. My only problem is it's going to be in the way of this external hard disk where I want to keep this, have this here. Maybe I might decide to take this off and put it on the side or something so I can have this here, but I haven't decided now. But yeah, otherwise I'll just get another mount and get this external monitor on the other side or some other side of the camera. So that's for this one. Of course, I have this Hdmi cable. You know, I think I bought this after we made that video, after I took that thumbnail. So this is new, and it's just ideal, not too long like the other one that was bulky and I had to tie it up. This is just perfect. It goes from the monitor to the camera. I'll talk more about this monitor later. It is very, very, you know, good, very great, very, very useful. Let's go closer to what we need. So I thought about my picture being one that's I want to get as close as possible to the Hollywood picture. I decided after making my research to go with the vintage lenses, and so far I'm having no problem. I am happy with my decision, and I think you know, if you're into film, documentary style and all that, you might want to decide, you know, if you need to do this vintages. Not all, I know there are some that's like, are you serious? Right now on this camera is, this is a TV lens, 1.6 f1.6 APS-C lens, and you know, I have this little adapter right there to get it fitting into Micro Four Third. In other words, you can use this on your GH4 as well as GH5 and all the other Micro Thirds. It's a lovely lens. It's got a lot of bokeh. I will show you reviews. Watch out for reviews coming for all of them. And if it's ready, the link will be right here. Let me just bring out my lenses and let's talk about lenses now properly. Oh, let's not forget, this one just came. I haven't fixed it up yet, but it's the handle for the camera, the rib cage. So it would be nice to, there's the mount, all right? So we'll get it over here so I can, you know, carry it when I want to play light. Yeah, it comes with the Allen key and all that, just simple and straightforward. And we'll talk more. We'll see. By the time I set it all up, I'm still building this rig. I'm still building. Subscribe. We got a lot. So this out of the way. Accessories, all right? So now let's bring all the lenses close. Let's bring them, all the lenses. Forget about the cover. Now this guy is a little, this is about the smallest lens in the world. He's got his brother right here, slightly bigger. These lenses are off the chains. I will let you see footages. These are vintage lenses. They are the 110 series. How do I put Pentax 110 as 110 or 110. One is 24 millimeters and the other is 18 millimeters. The 24 is the smallest, and I think it's the smallest lens in the world. But believe me, when you get this thing on, that's the adapter right now. I can put it on the camera. You won't believe it. You know, it is lovely. It's got lovely picture. When I say I'm going for vintage lenses, this is what I'm trying to get. When you see a lens, it's like branding. I think the sweet spot is you either go for the high cinematic lenses, because some of them are kind of still get this, have this kind of feel from these vintages. Some of them, you know, still have that, but a lot of the qualities from way back has been lost, which we're good, which we are now figuring out. Like, this is what I want. This is what we try. We want some distortions. We want some things that are unusual. I don't want to drag this video too long, but I will let you see footages in another review. I'm not sure, depending on how long this video turns out to be, we might just keep the review for another video. Now the bottom line, what I was trying to say about the vintage lenses, my choice is that they give you, it's like character, it's like branding. It's like when you see the pictures, you know, it's like film. It's just like, there's something about it. You know, we get all the wonderful cameras and of course the popular Sigma 18-35. Great lens, you know, but usually by the time we're working on the picture, we are bringing them, trying to achieve Hollywood look. We are bringing them to what these lenses look like. You understand? So why not start? They usually come flat. So when you know, they come like soft, almost like you're recording on log or something like that. And then when you're actually recording on log or some film format, it becomes even lighter. And I don't think it's in the way, you know, because you can always add some sharpness if you want to the degree. But you know, one thing people need to realize, if you're into film anyway, sharpness is not everything. neither is 4K or resolution 5K or stuff like that. You know, so when you color grade, when you work on the pictures, it comes out really, really, really lovely. And that is what I want to get. Character. You know, I want identity. You know, I want my pictures to have identity. And now these vintage lenses, they have different flares, different flavors, different characteristics to each lens. It's not like all the vintages look like, oh, it's vintage. Let me get this a TV camera off so we see how this little guy looks. And then the adapter for Fotasy is the adapter I chose for this one, and put it on here. Boom. That's that's the smallest camera in the world, smallest lens in the world. Next, I progressed and I went to the family of the no, this is my Nifty 50. That's for Canon. The Pentax. Of course, I already had with my M50, Canon M50 called now Helios 42 millimeters, right? 42, Helios 42 to 44 lenses. You know about those lovely lenses with the bouquet. That is somewhere here. I can't find it, you know. I think it's attached to the M50. No, not this M50. I think it's attached to my T2i. It's right there on the shelf. Now, that is there, but I have that one. It's not here, so it's on the camera right there. That is a wonderful lens. If you already have it for your Canon and you're getting this one, or you already have that lens, don't forget, don't sell that one, don't throw it away. I'm keeping my M50. That's what I'm using now. It's still going to be our studio camera. Sometimes we might play around with this, but that's going to continue the job as the homeboy. And we're recording at 4K right now, and everything looks fine. So we're going to keep this bad guy up doing his job. Now, if you have that lens, keep that lens. It's still lovely. It still applies to this camera, and with it you enjoy yourself, because I actually even enjoyed it better with this camera. So like I said, clips coming for the full review for all the lenses. Now the next lens I jumped into and still did not regret it. It's, trust me, it is hard to just keep getting it right. Not every time you get it right, you know, but everything I'm going to be talking about today, I put them on this lens, on this camera, and I nodded like, job well done. I made the right choice. This is another one where I made a right choice. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the renowned SMC Takuma lens. All right? It is sweet. It is just buttery sweet, like, and they are so neat and lovely. They look so clean, like they're brand new. You know, I think some of them are brand new but never used from way back. You know, some came in their packs and all that. And this is really lovely. Now, before I forget, this is another one. It was the first lens I actually bought. I should have started with that. The DSLR Magic. That's the one you saw on the camera on that thumbnail, and that's the one I used for the first video review I made with the Blackmagic camera. And this is it right here, another tiny lens. Of course, you might have seen a picture of that, but it's tiny, you know, tiny. But we are getting to the part where tiny is getting over. The lenses are beginning to grow, you know. Let me keep them properly, you know. Of course, we have the adapter for a K&F was the adapter I used for these Pentax lenses, you know. The K and F. I'll put the links for all this stuff in the description. I like to call it that way, so that if you need it, you can get an access. Of course, there are Amazon affiliate links. If you find the eBay will, I don't have an affiliate link with them, but whichever one from eBay, I'll put the links there too, so you could also get it from them, even though I'm not getting anything from it. But of course, the Amazon links, you can support the channel by clicking on those links and making your purchases. Yeah, from everything from what we've talked about today. Then I think I will round up with the battery solution for this camera and my findings and observation. Quickly, we got to wrap it up. Then next, I thought about the image stabilization and the fact that, even though I don't want to go to vintage, I want to go vintage. Sometimes you want to have that safety of stability of footage when you're not using the gimbal. Sometimes you want to have that safety and stability of peace of mind that your footage will still be stable when you record handheld. All right, so for that reason and that alone, I decided, okay, let me pick a lens that is okay, that's got image stabilization. It doesn't have to be all that great and all that, but I picked up the LUMIX, Panasonic LUMIX 45 to 150, and I was shocked. The picture was very good, at least with this camera. Of course, this lens, this camera, it's got a very, very powerful sensor, and the pictures of almost any lens will look great, but this really looked great, and it had the image stabilization, and a little bit of the shaking will have to go away. So I highly recommend it for any of the Micro Four Thirds lenses. It is sweet, and I will still review the pictures alongside with all these vintage lenses. Then I had to make a very serious decision about, okay, fine, these lenses are good, and what about, depth of field? I mean, I need that for my movies. When I need it, I want to get it, so I said, okay, look, if I do get it, what lenses, what primes, what quality am I going for? And I found that, Canon FD, still vintage, but at least they were the Canon lenses from way back that were well built, well done, and good quality, and the pictures were soft. Trust me, if you're going into film, I will advise this is the way to go, especially when you are running on a budget. Yes, if it would have taken me longer time to get these accessories if they were modern day cinematic lenses, but these things will surprise you. This thing will make you ask, what lens was that? Was that Zeiss? No. This is, oh my God, this thing is buttery sweet. See how it's falling in and out on its own? It's so smooth. It's like I've never used any lens this sweet to just roll and just use. I had to go to Canon FD series, and I am still, for now, I think I'm okay. I got 4 of them already, The only problem with all these vintages is you need to tell yourself when to stop, okay? You need to work on that, because you soon get addicted and begin to buy stuff you don't need. Now here, let me put all this aside. Here are my Canon FD series that's going to be my major go-to for cinema. All these are great, but this is like more of the professional line. Now this one came. This is the underground Canon FD 35 to 70 millimeters. I like the range, but this one goes from a whooping 70 millimeters to 210. Yep, 210. Sweet, is buttery sweet. I can't wait to, I got a music video coming up. I can't wait to use these guys on it. I also have the 50 millimeters. Oh, I think the 50 millimeter was the brightest. This is 28 millimeters, 2.8. It is also bright. I thought it would be a lot darker, and they got their own, light stops where you could brighten your image on from the lens, you know, adjust. Oh my God, this is wonderful. So this is my go-through, like you know, my professional setup right now, and you need to wait and watch out for the, I mean, whatever I'm shooting, I'm deciding on what short movie, what to shoot right now, but something has to come out soon because I'm excited to have these things portrayed. But the pictures are off the hook. Watch out for another video where I talk about the pictures. And then for battery, this guy is what I use. It's got input to power the camera. So when I attach this monitor, I power from there to the camera. Okay, it's already on. I powered it from here to the, so at the same time this guy powers the Blackmagic and this one, and I would say roughly it should be about 2 hours, both of them, but this guy collects a lot of power. So roughly I would say it has taken like an hour 30 minutes together, running together. But if it's just the Blackmagic alone, this guy, it can take, I would say, about 3 hours if you don't use this alongside. But I like to keep one power source and then power everything. But I think that will be a V-mount that will really solve the issue with everything. But so far, this has been my go-to guy, and at least I know that I'm not getting any problem. You know, I have 2 of them, and it's keeping my recording going smoothly without any hitches. All right. So, and then it can charge the battery in there. If the battery is in there, if I have to take it off, everything goes on without turning off, and that's a plus for me. And I can keep going on while this thing is charging, or I'm changing the battery. Everything keeps up, you know. So that's a very, very lovely thing to have there. So anything else I'm forgetting? Yes, the Metabones. What really powers this FD lenses? I got the Metabones adapter. It came in this nice lovely box, and yeah, when we put that on, put it on this, we are able to mount the Canon FD lenses, and it's good. Oh, it's all good now. It's all good. We only wait for footage now. So that's been it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for the accessories and vintage. Check us out for the next video. Hopefully that's a short movie or some footage, test footage, or for these lenses and stuff like that. I think I'll do the test footage first. And thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know any tips or suggestions you want. What questions downstairs in the description. Go ahead and map it up and ask me what you want me to check, especially if your order is on the way. That's been it. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Mwah. Bye. Oh, Thanos.